Peter Piper. Right, that's better. Hello.
Hello.
We will be streaming shortly, I think.
Cool.
Stream health is green. Right. Let's check if Niall's ready. In fact, the stream's probably healthier than I am.
Although it sounds like the audio, it's more the audio stream that makes it sound rough.
Yeah. Okay, right. Ooh.
I'm just getting a glass of water quickly, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to blow my nose to the microphone quickly.
Oh, shit. I forgot Okay, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Do I need to turn it down at all?
I don't know until everyone else is on, because
Okay.
I can turn you up and down my end, but as you're all coming through the same feed.
Cool. This mixer and microphone have been to Edinburgh and back, so I don't know if it's fucked with any of the dials.
And thankfully, because I rearranged everything's now within arm's reach, so I can
Nice.
make changes without getting too far away from the microphone. Right, just waiting on Niall to say he's ready and Wayne to appear. Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, that looks nice and loud enough on Audacity. Bearing in mind that I'm turning slightly to look at the screen. So I will actually be louder when I'm talking forward. Right. Okay. Which things have you watched? We've got JoJo's Dragon Ball.
I've watched JoJo's, Shonen Ishibe, Bono Bono, and Yuri on Ice, and Ninja Girl. I meant to catch up on Classic Lloyd, but I didn't get time to.
No worries.
That's the ones. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, and we'll probably throw the extra things in, as we seem to always do. Make a note of them. Flip Flappers, Haybot. And
God.
Time.
Oh, I meant to tell you, I've downloaded the Haybot 3DS game.
It's a puzzle game, isn't it, if I remember correctly?
I can't play it. It crashes my 3DS. Maybe it's found out I'm a pirate, and it's like, fuck you!
Yep.
So... I wasn't going to buy a physical copy and import it now, was I? So,
no. It's like can't even. Due to the weak pound, if the pound was stronger, I probably would import a Haybot.
Yeah,
because they were doing a pack. They were doing a special pack at HLJ where you got Haybot and a pack of 3 screws.
Oh God. Yeah, apparently, because Comic-Con is this forsaken weekend. Apparently, current exchange rate pricing is well in effect. Yeah,
I noticed my board game wish list had everything £10 had creeped up by £2 this week. After
that sounds about right.
So yeah, I'm not sure how many more board games I'll get off Amazon. I should probably be going to places which will give me a deep discount for buying lots of board games at once. Oh, I think I could do with being a little louder. Apologies if this blows your head off.
I can always turn it down this end as well.
Oh, hang on. Help me dropping sauce bottles on the tables, making a loud noise. Oh, there, Niall. Niall, are you there? You appear to be there.
I am.
We can't
I
hear
sound
you.
bad because I am there. I'm trying to be here. For fuck's sake. Oh.
Okay, I'm just checking if Dwayne is ready as well.
No. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Your quality's a little low, though.
Well, I can say the same to you, buddy.
Okay. Okay, all this all over again. It's the weekend all over again. Wednesday, not whatever it was. Oh, it was the Halloween episode we had trouble with, wasn't it?
Yep.
Well, let me just check this is connected to the right internet. Problem.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Yeah. I found the problem. My computer had connected to the wrong internet.
The neighbors internet that they're stealing, I mean borrowing.
Yes. But at least I've now discovered that I can stream onto YouTube using with 2 of us, but 3 of us pushes the limit.
Mm.
But now I'm on the right internet, so let's see what Dwayne's saying. Just nearly cool when ready. Okay, well, we're ready. Come on, Dwayne. Get my notes out. I'll get the cheat sheet, which at some point I need to add all these extra characters we've suddenly got in Yuri on Ice to the cheat sheets.
Yeah. It's blowing up.
It is.
Could always add TQ if you want something that takes half a second to mention.
Are you there, Dwayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Am
Niall,
I looking?
okay, Dwayne, you say something.
Burger, bagel, boogle, big.
Okay. Niall, say something.
Hello?
At a normal level, as you would say.
Hello?
Okay, that's more like it. I'm trying to get levels, and it doesn't help if you just start whispering. Okay, Niall, say something at a normal level.
Okay, I'm talking.
Okay, Elliot, say something at a normal level.
At a normal level.
Okay, Elliot could do with perhaps being a smidge quieter. Turn himself
Okay,
down.
give me a sec. Okay, how about now?
That looks a bit better. Niall, say something again. Niall?
Hello?
Niall, say something again.
Yeah, okay.
Dwayne?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah,
in the
I'm
man
okay, I'm here.
face.
You can hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you both now. Okay, we're good.
Strange.
Why, can you not hear yourself?
No, I was just wondering we were getting delayed, or was Niall getting our thing delayed there?
That's what I was thinking as well.
Okay.
Okay, Niall, respond to this in 1 second.
Okay.
That might be slightly longer, but okay.
Ooh. Do you hear that?
Bless you.
Yes, I heard that. Right, let's get ready to get this show on the road. Was there anything extra that people wanted to mention, apart from the usual extra things we mention every week, which are on the schedule?
What is the schedule now? Like, what is the actual...
The official
list?
things on the list. You've got the Word the Drive document, haven't you?
But then I keep forgetting to open the cheat sheet.
Well, there's the other thing which I shared with you. The Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime.
Yeah, that's the thing I got.
Yes. So that's got a list of all the things we're reviewing.
Okay.
God help us.
JoJo's Dragon Ball, Bono Bono, Shonen Ashibe Go Go Goma-chan, Ninja Girl and Samurai Master, Yuri on Ice, Bungo Stray Dogs, Drifters, Classicaloid, and then we seem to end up also talking about Flip Flappers, Haybot, and Time Boken every week as well. But they aren't officially on the schedule, so...
Okay. The only other thing I've been watching is Keijo, so...
Because...
Yeah!
Well, as 2 of you seem to be watching Keijo, then we can talk
That's
about
unofficially on the list, alright.
Okie dokie. Right. Here we go. are listening to Let's Go JoJo, the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. Elliot.
Hello.
Dwayne.
Hey.
Niall.
Howdy.
And me, Brian. This week's episode... 31st of July. No, sorry, episode 31. July 15th. Thursday, part 1. See, I was getting excited there for a minute. I thought it was 31st of July. It's named after my birthday, but no, it's 16 days earlier. So, this week's episode took a turn in the adaptation, and that they started adapting 3 different arcs all at once.
I assume happening on the same day.
I guess so, yes.
They are now.
Yes, I don't know whether they were in the comic, but they are now. So we've got a story involving Josuke and Okuyasu encounter and also your alien boy. Is it Miki
Taka?
Yeah,
Miki Taka.
Miki
Yeah.
Taka encountering a weirdo who's living in an electricity pylon.
A weirdo, a normal for Jojo's Bizarre Adventure person. living
Yeah.
in
He
a-
seemed very reasonable and had his shit sorted out.
Yeah, he was kind of a bit good life, wasn't he? He was being self-sufficient. Then we had Koichi and Josuke's mum encountering somebody sinister who was eating Josuke's mum's cakes. And then a weirdo showed up at Rohan's door after he'd spotted the kid following around his dad, who he suspects isn't his dad.
But we open the episode on, it's like 2 days prior, isn't it? Or
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
with the photograph ghost dad flying around, getting annoyed that these guys are really getting their shit together with catching his son, and he doesn't even know where his son is. He's really worried.
Well, you identify him just by his fingernails somehow.
Oh, he's got that freaky thing where his fingernails suddenly fucking shoot out.
My son, it's been so long.
Oh dear.
And we also get Jotaro and Joseph and an anonymous Speedwagon member.
Oh, Speedwagon Foundation
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Still searching for the serial killer. Jotaro's sure that he'll strike again.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal when like Josuke and that are like hanging around near the ghost sort of intersection and like, oh yeah, Jotaro's fine. He thinks he should just wait. And it's like, wait a minute, he's talking about waiting for someone to die. Like that's a bit of a grim way of holding out and waiting for another lead. It's just we'll let someone die and that'll help us figure it out. Which
Well, he also talks with authority, like about serial killer methodology, and he's a fucking marine biologist. So what does he know about it?
Well, to be fair, in his own adventures, he met a lot of crazy people. So I think by
True.
now he's like kind of used to interacting with idiots or insane people.
Well, he's a marine biologist. He probably still uses sharks to perfect killing machine. He probably
but
Sharks
exactly.
aren't
uses a few parallels.
psychotic.
Yeah, and sharks don't have fingernails.
They got teeth though that they grow back really quickly, so they're like the fingernails on Kira's hand. Huh?
Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh dear. The first thing is it's Josuke and Okuyasu walking to school, so that's the kind
Through
of
a
first shot of it.
cornfield for some reason.
It's like sunflower field or something. Like they live in a really nice town. I think they're going the long way around. I think they're just going to Mitch. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, they come across a pair of binoculars on the ground, which is kind of like Okuyasu just wants to pick it up, but Josuke doesn't want it because it's dirty. That's on the ground, dude.
Not
would you-
that, why would this be? It's this thing, this object in the middle of a field. What from our experience might inform us this is probably not what it appears to be. But
Yeah,
no,
and-
you don't learn that.
Yeah, assume it's an enemy stand user, and I mean, like, it wasn't an enemy stand user, and it mightn't have even been a stand user. It's our good friend the alien.
Yes. And Okuyasu is pleased to see him because he wants him to clear up once and for all. Are you a
Listen.
stand user pretending to be an alien?
Or are you just crazy? Which is like, Okuyasu, that's not, if he's crazy, he won't know it.
And he tells him he's an alien and he starts talking very robotically.
Yeah, because initially he's quite, like, personable. He's like, I am an alien. And it's like, dude, why are you talking about that? Yeah.
I did like that where it's just like Okuyasu going, "Aha! I've got you now to like channel the readers," and then the alien's just like, what do you want?" And he's like, "Hey, I'm a pair of binoculars. Use me to start spy on that dude I find fascinating, but I'm not going to do myself. So please use me."
He can't look
Okay.
through himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It was just kind of funny where he's like, "Avail yourself of my binocular form," and it's like, "Okay, I guess."
Oh, dear.
The best bit on that front is though later when the guy asks him who he is, and he's so pleased to introduce himself as an alien to somebody new.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe
Yeah.
this one person won't call me a liar. Yeah,
I mean, like, I am pretty freaky.
he is. Well, at one like, is a skipping ahead, but later on, he's like wisping away like a ghost bottom sort of thing, and it's like, okay, no, this is getting pretty freaky. Your powers, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure you are, in fact, maybe an alien at this point. So, oh,
Yes. Do we get the guy's name in this episode?
Toyo Hero
yeah, he says
something
it.
or other.
Yeah.
yeah.
And his stand is Superfly, which gets to keep its name.
I was
guess
so
'cause that's a
pleased about
term.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Rather than
That could be any Superfly.
yeah.
Yeah, referring, of course, not to the comic book hero Superfly.
Well,
I'm not sure
I
it's a thing
doubt
at
there's
all.
any, unless he's like a power pylon. I don't think there's any correlation there.
No, like it's mixed up with like a guy cleaning out the mean streets of Harlem or whatever the film was said.
And so he's living in this pylon on his own, and they deduce that he's a stand user when he flies across from one side to the other on a screw.
Yeah, I did like the bit where he's like, oh, he's living 20 feet up in the air, and he must have really good balance, and he really fucking doesn't have good balance.
And they're very
But-
careful to point out that this is a disused pylon, so kids don't climb up real ones to live like this guy does.
Oh dear. Yeah, but he has a little. He's got a good situation going for himself there, like a little self-sufficient farm, and he catches fish from the local river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty good situation he got.
He's got a
I'm not
toilet
sure-
there.
I'm not sure how his TV is protected from the rain, but whatever.
He had a TV in there.
Yeah, he had a TV part way up. It was across from the couch.
Yeah.
Well,
I never saw the bed. That was the thing I was most interested in from the start. I'm like, how the sleeping happen? Like,
I mean,
what?
like hammock would be best, I think. Yeah,
and to
Yeah.
be fair, he is feeding them a line,
yeah, that is true.
but he claims he's been living there for 3 years, when that's probably not the case. He's probably just been shot by a photo.
He could be
Yeah,
a
he's still
random
got the-
lunatic who lived in a pylon who is capable of stand powers.
Well, did Ghost Dad shoot this guy with the arrow, or did he shoot the pylon with the arrow?
That is a good question, yes.
He says it's his stand, but he has no control over it. So yeah, difficult one.
Yeah, he seems to relish how like his own situation is absolutely dire when it comes to this stand. When he's like, "Oh yeah, this stand, it's got me trapped, but now you're trapped. Ah, bye, peace."
Yes.
And it's like,
We
oh,
learn the
weird.
true nature of the stand when a photo drops out of his back pocket, and James
Yeah,
Gay
he
says,
starts freaking out.
"Oh, you've dropped a photo." He goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't need for you to look at it." Of course, making it more suspicious so that Joe's going.
Yeah, you can leave now. It's like initially he's quite friendly. Well, I mean, like as friendly as a guy 20 feet in the air could be. But yeah, Josuke is kind of, and he sets it up as well. He says later on, "It's like, haha, I said definitely don't come in here because then I knew you come in here. Because if I said totally come in here, you totally wouldn't come in here."
Also, how do I know you're a teenager and you're going to do the opposite of what I tell you to do?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he's supposed to be some sort of army dude with the beret and the green fucking gear.
More like a Peter Pan vibe off him.
Yeah,
Maybe,
also had
maybe,
those-
maybe it's the red hair.
He also had that crazy, like, sort of, I think it was near his eye, those crazy, like, sort of, like, almost like orthodox symbol, sort of, like, straight line with cross hatching sort of thing.
yeah.
It's like, man, you've got so much design going on. Like,
It's
kind
clear
of
you're a
unbelievable.
character.
Yeah, you are a character, and you're going to be either a complete good guy or a complete asshole. Guess which one he was. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so basically he can then leave, which he leaves by going across a wire to the next pylon. And when Josuke tries to leave, he starts turning into a pylon.
Yeah, it's like you have to get someone to replace you living in the square of the pylon.
Yes.
And if you can, then you can leave, but they have to stay or they become part of the pylon.
Yeah, and the analogy he uses is that of Old Maid.
Yeah, he says a different card game in the thing, but
No, it's just an Old Maid.
does he say Old
Yeah,
Maid?
it's
I
Old
thought he
Maid.
was.
Yeah,
I
he says
thought he
Old
was
Maid.
suggesting a different card. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one that they keep coming back to that one as well. And that it's one of those stand powers that has like, it has a bunch of other powers as well, just to make it
Yes.
more confusing.
Because, yes, the two lads are like, you might have got us trapped, but all we've got to do is destroy this pylon and then I can leave.
Yeah, and so they get to punching as they do. And the thing is, it absorbs any attacks against it and sends them back at you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it kind
Any
of-
energy that goes into it has to be funneled out somewhere as well. So yeah, it basically just reflect everything back onto you. Whatever you do.
Yeah,
with
it kind of absorbs the punishment to start with, and then later sort of pushes it back out in the same form or fashion.
I like the way
the one-
he's slowly crawling along this wire while he's explaining this to them, because he hasn't brought like a zip line or anything. He's just like, well, I'm just going to slowly climb my way down from here. Might as well chat while I'm doing it.
Yeah. And Josuke dodges the blows, but Okuyasu takes a punch in the abdomen. So
Punch
Josuke's,
to holding himself.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to get out and save his friend. Even though once he does get out later, he doesn't. But don't worry about that.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. And I was also thinking, couldn't Okuyasu go in, get healed, and then leave?
Yeah.
And,
that's
like
what I
either of them
thought.
could leave then, yeah.
Yeah. Plus also, like when they're both attacking the pylon, like Okuyasu seems to forget that he has like his like space eating hand. Instead, he's just punching
He
it
always
normally.
forgets he has that power.
Yes.
But thinking now, if he did that to the pylon, it would just try and eat him back. So maybe best he didn't do it.
Yes.
Yeah, but Okuyasu's an idiot, so he wouldn't think about that, would he?
But yeah,
So-
he also wouldn't think of using his power that way. That's why he's got that power and not an intelligent character.
Because
Oh.
that power would just fucking destroy everything around it.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. But I like the guy again slowly climbing off the pylon, going like, Josuke's like, I'm going to hunt you down to the ends of the earth, and it's like, yeah, good luck, you can't even catch Kira, bye.
It turns out the wire he's shimmying along isn't actually a cable. It is Mikitaka.
And after all of Okuyasu's like, hey, don't come, you're useless, you can't help us in this, you don't have cool powers like us, but you
No,
can turn
it's
into
just-
a wire. So that's pretty good.
Okuyasu doesn't understand, the
The usefulness of turning into anything.
This ability requires a bit more nuance, a bit more thought, which isn't his forte. So
yeah.
What, you don't punch things? I don't know how that works.
So he swings back in with Toyohiro, and so all three of them are now in, which lets Josuke escape. And so it's a race for Mikitaka to get out before Toyohiro does. But Toyohiro manages to use attacks against the pylon against Mikitaka by doing them at just the right angle.
Yeah, so initially he cuts the wire that he's attached to, seemingly dropping himself to his death. And he's like, oh, that's not part of my body, that's part of the pylon. He's like, I knew it was part of the pylon, because then the pylon will cut you rather than me, because reasons.
Angles.
And
It's all
angles,
all
I
with
guess he says. Yeah.
it reflects it back the way it came. So
He uses those bolts again to kind of like knock it against them so they'd fly the opposite way.
Yeah.
Kind of like bullets and rivet him to the pylon, which seems to have him well and truly stuck.
Yeah, and is that the way we leave it with them?
that's pretty much it. Yeah,
I think that's where it leaves
yeah.
off, yeah.
It's
pretty much it.
interspersed in throughout. You're seeing little glimpses
Yeah.
of what's going on with the other storylines.
Koichi and the mum appear to have disappeared, and then this strange guy's rolled up at Rohan's house.
Yeah, like even seeing the Memento here on the pylon, and this fella at the door is just like a bald man in a coat. He seems almost more off-putting than this other dressed-up guy. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is about him, but
He's not dressed like a JoJo's character.
Yeah. He also has that creepy posture that makes him look real weird in the like peephole thing, and it's like, this guy's up to no good, clearly.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I liked how they interspersed these three stories together.
It's a good way of kind of like drawing it out without feeling like it's wasting your time with it, you know?
Yeah, and it ratchets up the tension on those other things because you know
Yeah.
that Josuke can't deal with them straight away because he's
Busy doing something else at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it showed these three stories serially, you'd be like, well, where's that character? Where's that character? In this way, it's like no, everyone's busy. Like everyone's kind of in deep shit here, so we've got to take care of all these things at once, which makes it seem a lot more engaging. Although we'll admit the constant jumping back and forth with the time just made me more confused, honestly. So I'm sat there going like,
I'm not sure why it needed to be happening at different times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
it happens simultaneously.
It's like, yes, I assume that time is linear and keeps moving forward. You don't have to keep telling me what time it is. That's just kind of confusing me more.
It's like 24. It builds the tension. That's probably what they think.
Yeah. Well, the Koichi one is happening like about 10 minutes before the Josuke Okiyasu plotline is going on. So I don't know whether that will matter when it gets to the climax. But I guess this to show that this is basically happening on either side of town. This thing is going on.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a sort of a definition of exactly how long a JoJo's fight takes in real time at the end of this. If we go back and look at these timestamps,
20 seconds.
I think the last one, wasn't it? It's like you have 4 minutes to live, and it took like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Namek time and all that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, fun stuff as per normal. Okay, moving on to the debuting Dragon Ball Super. Debuted on Crunchyroll and Daisuke and the Australian thing I forget the name of, Anime Lab.
Yeah, we've got 63 episodes to wrap up in this time now, so let's just
Okay, settle in.
Episode 63. Don't disrespect Saiyan cells. Vegeta's heroic battle begins. And this was a really good episode to start the simulcasting on because it had some
fucking hell,
really good animation in it.
Yeah, and
did they plan it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and you're getting like a good kind of spectrum of what makes Dragon Ball Super good. Where you have it has like the more kind of moments of levity, and each character is kind of poking fun at themselves, and the whole kind of the familiar Dragon Ball tropes, shall we say. But also, there's still room for a good fight in there.
Yes. Yes, so the lads are back in the future. They've figured out that don't let these guys gang up on us was their key, is their new tactic.
Vegeta pops out of the time chamber and destroys your man's fucking house in the process. No fucking sorry or anything. No, just fucks off to the future.
Gone.
I think the only reason they let him come there is because he could beat them up.
And the time machine gets blown up, and the villains are like, now you're stuck in the future with us, and the heroes are like, no, you're stuck in the future with us.
Not a great comeback, but all right.
There's the great bit where Goasu's doing his long monologue, future Goasu's doing his long monologue about why he wants to do this mortal destruction plan.
And the lads talking over him is fucking brilliant. He's like, hey, where's the pot? It's like, what pot? What? It's in the fucking time machine. What do you think it is? It's like, I don't have any pockets. And then it cuts back to the other guys going like, they're not even listening to you, dude. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I was just self-serving anyway.
How very godlike.
The gods from the present show up in the future.
Yeah, so Goasu and Kaioshin of Universe 7.
Yeah.
I like their explanation. Is like, how did you get here? And he just goes, time ring. That's as much explanation as you need.
Boom!
And Goku's like, you can stay, just keep out of our way.
Because they're not good at fighting.
No. We also learned that Whis is an angel in passing.
What?
Yeah, I thought that was a mistranslation for a second, but Goku reacts to it. He's like, is an angel?
Yeah, apparently his existence is predicated on there being gods around to serve.
So he gets like switched off when the gods are currently dead
Yes.
or missing or whatever.
We get Trunks fantasizing about Mai and then realizing it's Yajirobe in front of him.
I'm really worrying that Yajirobe just met out with him while he was unconscious.
Bulma came along as well, and she's prepared in case someone blew the time machine up.
I thought she was just going to bring another time machine, I'll be honest with you.
To be fair, but it was even better that she's got so many capsules with her this time that she's got like a warehouse capsule.
Yeah, she brought a garage, which is like, I guess that's a good idea.
And they find the broken pot, and then she makes Trunks glue it together because he was always good at jigsaw puzzles.
That was such a good thing because like the earlier part where he's fighting was actually really cool, and it's like, man, freaking Trunks is great. And then it's like kind of reducing him to fix this pot, Trunks.
Yeah.
It's really stepped down from it.
Was it this episode where, my tries to do the fucking assassination job on Goku
yeah.
Black?
Yeah, that was earlier.
Yeah,
in
what's
the
this
episode as
episode?
well.
Yeah.
That's kind of why Trunks needs to fight them initially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It wasn't a bad plan. I was I was half thinking, when she's like taking aim, I'm going to do a scope. Okay, remember, try and kill a guy who's not immortal. Okay.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And then, we get this really great fight between Goku Black and Vegeta, who basically points out that just having Goku's body isn't enough. You also need his battle-hardened idiocy.
Yeah, you got to be as stupid as him to be as good as him. Come on.
Yeah. Like, it was a good fight as well, like Vegeta, he isn't just trying to overpower him. He's actually, if you kind of watch it back, he's actually kind of fighting smarter. He's more kind of dodging or kind of deflecting the balls or grabbing them rather than just trying to punch him harder. He
is countering as well.
He's
Yeah.
got a bit of technique in there to go along with the strength.
Yeah. And before that, of course, there's the bit where Goku's asking him which one he wants to fight. And he's like, I want the one who looks like you, of course.
He's like, oh, you're pretty cocky there, Vegeta. It's like, well, I'm better than you, so obviously I'm going to be better than a fake you. Come on.
Yeah. And it's great
Yeah.
because that fake Vegeta arc all is thematic sense.
Yeah. It seems so out of place on its own, but against this, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, such a good show. So good to have it there. I might go back and watch some stuff because obviously some of the translation's better. We now got the thing people have been translated as human is now just translated as mortal, and that makes so much more sense.
As we
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it would be, yeah.
That's what we figured as much, yeah.
Now everybody can enjoy it. Everybody can watch this, it's with a clear conscience.
I think they're adding 10 backlog episodes a week, aren't they? But all the future
Yeah.
Trunks stuff's already up. So
Yeah, they started with the start of this arc, so yeah.
yeah, and next week, Fusion.
Mm.
Yes, the old Chekhov's fusion earrings.
Do they still have to do
Yes.
the dance? That's what's important.
Oh, good. Done.
No,
Thank you.
not the earrings. The earrings are just like fly together,
that's-
just smush your
yeah.
bodies together in the air.
But aren't the earrings the crap version of Fusion that kind of sucks nuts compared to the dance?
It's the one you can't undo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they're
It's
the same
supposed-
guy anyway, so yeah.
It's supposed to be better, I thought.
Yeah.
It just was obviously the cost of it is you can't undo it unless
Except
you have
with-
Dragon Ball
yeah.
and just undo it
Yeah.
anyway.
No, but,
Forget
yes.
this universe has magic in it. We can just
Yes,
have a spell
because we
on
have
top.
established earlier in the series that can happen. So
Well, they specify even in this episode, there's no more Dragon Balls, there's no more gods.
that's true.
There'll never be any more Dragon Balls.
But there's Dragon Balls in the
future.
past.
Yeah, and we can time travel, so
Yes.
it's not really a problem.
No Dragon Balls, no Namek Dragon Balls, no Super Dragon Balls. It's like everything's been taken care of. All of these loops have been closed.
Yep. Anyway, that was Dragon Ball Super for this week. Next up, into the short zone. Bono episode 16, I Walk a Lot. In which Bono and Chipmunk ponder on why they like to walk.
That's because it's fun, isn't it?
It is.
yeah.
Also, you can go wherever you want.
Yes, and the scenery moves.
That's pretty good. Yeah. After such the existentialism of the last episode, this one was kind of like, what?
It's just more like, what's the deal with walking?
I know. I quite like this because I came back from Edinburgh from a trip, and it's sort of like, oh, I'll just watch Bono. I'll just watch this, and it's like, it's got and even the characters in the show keep having nice sort of relaxed sighs, and it's like, yeah, walking is nice. And then they meet the arsehole raccoon dad, who's you can see where his son gets it from, I guess, because he's also a
Yeah.
prick.
I did like that the raccoon wasn't there, so they just had to deal with the dad instead.
Who's the same, but just a darker hue and bigger and and just even more of a prick. So
Yeah, more cranky, I think, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed more open to the idea though. He wasn't jumping straight at them. He's like, "Well, you tell me then. Why is walking fun?" And it's like, "Well, I guess we'll walk over here then." And then they go, "Ah," So
And he's like, "It's
yeah.
not that sort of fun."
It's like a given out dad. It's like, well, explain it so. But,
What's the objective here? Oh, Dad.
What kind of job can you get out of it at all? What's the point of doing it?
Yeah, but how is this making you money? Anyways, let's tell you to father chat now. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, this show has grown on me an awful lot. I must admit, like just watching it for this podcast, it's grown on me a great deal.
that's quite pleasant.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a thoroughly nice show. Okay. Other nice things which happened this week would be Shonen Nishibe Go Go Goma-chan, episode 20, Smile Kanji-kun, in which Hashibe goes to get a dog to protect Goma-chan from those cats. And then the story somehow warps into a contest to make a sour-faced employee at his granddad's company smile.
I was wondering when that guy from the intro was going to come into it.
So this guy's called Kanji. He's a recent employee who the granddad just picked to work for him on visuals alone.
He kind of hired him just to mock him, really, didn't he? Like,
Yeah, but he kind
he's
of went
like-
through the line. It's like, who are we going to promote? This guy? It's like, nah, I don't think I like him. This guy? I don't think I like him. This guy? I could like him eventually. It's like, I'll give it up now. Him, that one.
Has the other guy had a name? He probably has. He's probably
The big lip dude, is it?
yes.
I can't
he
remember
had
his
it
name.
mentioned once, but I can't remember what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But it turns out, of
Smither.
course, that the thing that makes this guy smile is cats. And he appears to be part of some sort of cat fanciers club.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing he won't headbutt is a cat.
I did like how he had 3 different behaviors at all times. It was headbutting them, snorting, and like just scowling the whole time.
just
It was pretty
glaring.
great. Yeah.
Like, I thought the plan was going to be is that he'd go to the granddad and said, "Granddad, I need a guard dog." I haven't got a guard dog, but I got this guy, motherfucker. He'll care about him.
Well,
they-
it worked out the same. It worked out the same way either way.
Yeah.
It actually worked out pretty much along that line, but in a nicer way.
Yes.
I did really like the little boy with Goma-chan head. That was pretty good in the family restaurant.
yeah.
Oh yeah, doing the old.
Oh, man. The
was a
dog
really
in the
good-
overcoat thing? I love that.
Yeah,
yeah, and then try to eat your dinner with it.
And the disguises they're wearing as they're sneaking up to him in the street as well is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
that was
But
real
my
good.
favourite joke is when the 2 Yakuza guys are hassling that guy.
Oh, right.
And Ashibi wants to go and take care of it by giving them a hug.
No, kid, I'll kill you. What are you doing?
It works for everybody else. It probably work in this case as well. Because as I've said, he is Jesus.
It probably would work. I mean, like one Ganji, he seems to be a big tough guy, but he's a big softy for cats. Who to say the burly love hug wouldn't have worked on those tough guys?
Yeah.
Never know.
Headbutt works as well, though.
Yes, it's much more immediate.
But they are just like the guys in Yakuza. The Yakuza games just randomly come up and try and start fights with you. So, obviously, both very realistic representations.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yep. Anything else to add about this episode? Oh, the secretary. What's that? Her
Pepe
has a ventriloquist
Ventriloquist.
dummy,
yeah.
which looks like the Chinese restaurant owner, but actually,
Well, it looks like a dog that looks like the Chinese restaurant
That's true.
owner.
Yes.
Yeah, she's kind of embarrassed about it because it's like, for
Yeah.
her, she's trying to do like a talent show thing. She hasn't quite got the point of the contest at the company.
I thought it was really funny because, for the entire time, she sounds really, really bashful about it, sort of hiding in the corner of the office, trying to do a ventriloquist act. And then the boss comes along and goes, "Oh, you're trying it as well, aren't you?" Ha ha. Yeah, that's pretty
The
good.
best part of that was when Granddad busts into the room and she's going, "Is that what you think?" As she's talking, she is flapping the mouth of the puppet as well while she's trying to excuse herself.
I didn't see that. That's good. That's good.
And when the granddad announces the contest as well, when nobody's interested until he throws a bunch of shares in as the reward.
10% of the company.
It's a pretty big company.
Yes, and he has diverted all operations into making this guy smile.
Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know how they're making money. Too big to fail, maybe.
I don't know if I just start a money farm if he's running low on cash.
Yeah, I was going to
So,
say.
Ashiba, does he own 10% of the company now?
No, he wanted a guard dog instead
But
of.
he got your man instead.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this was probably the best of the episodes involving the cats so far.
That's fair.
In that it just didn't involve the cats. And the final short that we watched this week is Ninja Girl and Samurai Master Episode 4, The Monkey and the... I can never pronounce that. Tsundere girl, yeah. In which the monkey has a cold. And this girl who would like to be his girlfriend comes up to help him out, but he's only interested in Nobunaga's daughter. And meanwhile, the two ninjas are sitting there, basically providing running commentary on this relationship.
Yeah, and
Basically mocking the whole thing from the get-go.
well, the ninja girl and the monkey guy do not get what's going on. They think she's angry. It's like, well, why is she cooking for him? Oh, that's weird. They're not picking up on the subtle, very fucking obvious cues.
I think the most obvious cue is the fact it was like that one voice actress who they get for every single Tsundere character ever. So that was the immediate like, yep, it's her. Of course you'd get her to do the Tsundere character, wouldn't you? And she's blonde too, so of course that's going to happen.
And we get a little history lesson at the start explaining that unlike other lords at the time, Nobunaga Oda didn't force farmers to become soldiers. He actually employed people who were good at fighting.
Why is he considered such a bad ruler?
Oh, he just broke with centuries of tradition,
Yeah,
He was
Right, okay. It was just bucking the trend rather than actually being evil or anything.
Yeah, that and buying outside guns.
What's that about?
Yeah, that and buying outsiders guns. They weren't too chuffed about that either.
But guns are awesome.
And also, of course...
Well, he proved that. No one else didn't want to believe it.
In terms of if you're going to have warfare, obviously, yeah.
Setting fire to the crops of elven villages.
Well, that's a different thing.
Wait,
That is like a caricature.
I don't know if that's historically
depiction.
accurate.
Yeah, this is good. I like the fact that it's actually the way that it's played so realistically makes the goofiness.
Yeah, weirdly realistic. It's like
stand out
they're trying
more.
to. It's like they're trying to, like you said, the little lesson at the start. Are we trying to learn history here? Or
I feel like it is. I think we are being edutainmented somehow.
Yeah. That's probably it.
And it looks like next week is more stuff with the neighbouring lord. So I'm guessing
he attacks or something.
Yeah, it must be quite close to the time he died, given that Nobunaga's daughter's old enough for his right-hand man to want to fall in love with. And that
But he could be a creepy old dude.
It could well be, but I suspect it's closer to the end of the... It's still pretty creepy. But because even if it's set in 1560, she'd still only be 13.
Oh, dear.
Righty-ho. Let's move on to... Okay, did any of us watch Bungo Stray Dogs this week?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, it might be getting back to the regular show after it because they're all fucking. It's dead. It's good.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
It managed to make what the setup of time predicting powered gun fucking fights and shit really goddamn boring.
Yeah, you're seeing and they're having their little gunfight while two gangs of the henchmen on their side bust into the room and start firing machine guns either side of them while they're having a gunfight in the middle of it. And it's like you're looking at your watch, waiting for this thing to fucking finish up. It doesn't sound nearly as exciting as it could be.
Yeah, it's two guys having a one-on-one gunfight in the middle of a room full of people shooting guns either side of them. This should be very cool, but it's really, really boring. Spoilers, I guess. Well, if you haven't watched it, the guy who has the time predicting powers, he's totally fucking dead.
Of course, because he was the one who said somebody was going to die.
So it starts
Yeah,
going to die, and we saw that it wasn't going to be Deadeye. The other guy walked out as scot-free, so it had to be this
Actually,
guy.
he's standing in the background, like brokering like a peace, and the leader of his organization and his former boss are being really shitty to him, which I thought was nice. Like, he doesn't get his comeuppance, but he does kind of get talked down to by his bosses, and feel really nervous in a room full of people who want to kill him, probably. But I don't know if any of this shit's going to come up in the like proper.
I think the other guy who survived, I think he does show up in the comic,
right?
at
Okay.
some point. But I think that's probably it. We'll
Yeah.
be back hopefully in present day with the Americans.
Please, God.
And
That's what it said the next episode was going to be.
Yeah.
It's like the three-way something or other. I forget what the episode title was called.
the lesson is comics are better than books which don't have drawings in them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was so elated when at the near the end of the episode when Deadeye takes off that stupid fucking eye bandage.
They take it off in a really fucking dumb way as well, though.
He takes it off, but
his
then
dying
like
breath is like, and he pulls it off him, and it all like unwraps around his head, and it's like, oh, he was beautiful all along. And I was like, I don't care, show.
he's hot under the bandages.
Okay.
But as soon as it comes off, he's the kind of the old Deadeye we know and love, so we know
Pretty
it's
much,
finally done with.
Now it's time for Brian's weekly Haybot report. This week, in episode 6, rushing out to the Voca battle race, it did wacky races. That's the end of this week's Haybot report.
I really appreciate these small pocketed Hailbot reports. This works a lot better than trying to actually watch it.
Yeah, they didn't advance the plot any. It was just wacky races with so many references, none of which I think were later than 1988.
Is this show for you, Brian? Did they make a show for you?
It's more and more show for me. I've kind of definitely felt myself in the rhythm of it. But again, I do watch it Sunday morning at 7:00, so which is the
Okay.
correct time to watch it. Okay, quick Flip Flappers update. Did you watch it, Dwayne and Niall?
Mm-hmm. I did. Yeah. So we got a bit of fallout from last week where it's like, oh, there are other organizations with girls with powers trying to get these bits as well. And what to do with that? The Flip Flap group want the Coconut and Pappy Cat to, hey, you guys gotta get your fun act together and improve your teamwork. So we're going to make you live together and hang out with each other all the time to get your kind of synchronization rate up. So the girls basically just camp out in the woods, trying to fend for themselves. That kind of Hansel and Gretel imagery is kind of coming to the fore in this again. And they basically get stranded on a desert island and almost die.
Yep.
And most importantly, they lost a hoverboard as well.
Yeah, well, that's how they got
Idiots.
stranded. That wasn't a good plan. I found this one like a lot kind of lacking, and I think it's because it didn't have any of those weird. What's the other world thing called again?
Pure illusion.
Yeah, it didn't have any of those kind of scenes going on in it. I mean, there's some nice design in there, but I found it really hard to get into this because like that's been the one thing that's kind of holding me into the show, you know.
Yeah. It was more like a kind of a thing where like Coconut and Pappy Cat is now going to school. He's got this Jeff school uniform now, and Pappy Cat does not know how to fit into regular everyday society. And Coconut is like, what's the fun to do with you? You can't fucking do anything by yourself. And then of course it gets reversed when he gets stranded on the island. And Pappy Cat is complete survivalist. She knows exactly what to eat and what things are edible and what things will poison you and so forth.
Yeah. And they also have they meet up with the other girl who's in the other organization.
Yeah,
And she doesn't really spend much time trying to convince them to join her side. But I'm wondering, are our characters on the bad guy side? Because I don't know.
It's happened before.
Also, their chief seems kind of like a massive prick. So
I thought that was the idea from the. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I thought that was the idea from the start that the chief was like the Lord Prick, and they're going to spend the entire episode getting away from him. Something.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure where they're kind of going with this. I'm really not getting much meat from it, you know.
Okay, I should continue to wait.
I think
on
they're
it.
just.
Yeah. That might be the best way. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think this will be in episode 8 or something. By the time it actually says, like, by the way, this is the structure around it you're supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Because all it's doing so far is just doing, hey, look, we've got this pair of characters. We're going to threaten them vaguely for the entire time, and you're going to feel really anxious about it. Haha, have fun watching this. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of an odd one, and I'm not really getting a feel for where it's going. I mean, like, to compare it to something that's currently running as well, like in like Drifters, I don't know a lot of how the shit is working in it, but it's kind of hooked me in with the setup for it, and for what little I do know of how the characters work and how the world works.
Plus it's really
it makes you want to fill in the blanks where you don't know. Yeah, and it's pretty as well, of course.
Niall, did you watch Time Bokan 24 this week?
Oh, you bet I did. Dinosaurs, man. I had
This
to.
was the best episode so far.
Flintstones was right.
Yes. Dinosaurs were caveman pets. It was storyboarded by Nabashin, who also did the Wright Brothers episode, apparently.
He is all over our fucking
Kids shows
schedule
at the
of shows
moment,
here, isn't he?
See, Nabishin is totally he's a great man. He does great things.
Yeah. This was a really good episode. This was the sort of episode where you watch it and you think, I got to find out who made that because I want to see more of stuff by these people. And basically, the 5 leads go back in time to check out what dinosaurs were really up to in the true history, and proceed to lose their minds when the lead decides he wants a Tyrannosaurus Rex as a pet. And they end up becoming cavemen who are more savage than the actual cavemen are.
Yeah, they both get stranded because like the local biggest baddest T-Rex is just made off with both of their time machines.
Yes. It's a one-eyed, sort of a glass-eyed, one-eyed T-Rex, which I'm sure is a reference to something, because I'm sure I've come across that before.
What, Big Boss or something?
Yeah. No, I was specifically thinking of like a one-eyed Tyrannosaurus Rex being a thing.
I was thinking of there's that one T-Rex in Cadillacs and Dinosaurs that has one eye.
Yeah, I was wondering whether the dinosaur in flesh from 2000 AD did as well. But yeah, all 5 of them, the heroes and the bad guys, just absolutely lose their mind when it nicks their mecha. And then we get when they get the mecha back, we get the great Housewife King mecha.
Which I'm kind of ambivalent about it. Do you think it's a good joke, I suppose, but is this reinforcing stereotype? I don't know.
I don't. I think it's just a good joke.
Yeah.
And it's also a mecha you can't buy. So at
What's
least
the point of putting it in the show then?
just as a joke. That's why.
Well, if you didn't like that joke, we do get Iggy in small dinosaur form. If you got a small dinosaur who loves jumping out your face and farting.
Yes.
But he farts in joy rather than trying to fart in your face because it's horrible.
And of course, the one of the bad guys who looks like a shaved ape in the first place.
The guy who looks most like a caveman.
Yes, he basically stays a caveman after the other 4 have snapped out of it. But yeah, it's a good episode. Very well made. And, okay, back to the regularly scheduled events. Let's talk Classicaloid, Episode 3, Cho-chan and Litz-chan, in which Chopin and Liszt move in, supposedly going there to spy on Mozart and Beethoven, but they end up moving in as well. So there's now 4 Classicaloids staying at the house by the end of the episode.
I kind of like the way it started with with Chopin being basically on everyone's mind kind of thing, where everyone was kind of obsessed with him, unbeknowing they're all obsessed with exactly the same guy.
Yeah, because he's like a reclusive gamer who, what's his face he's talking to?
He's chatting to him online.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want a game later on? Sure.
And best of all, Beethoven thinks he's a gyoza fairy.
He refers to him as a fairy all the way through. He does not change his opinion. Brilliant.
There's also like Beethoven remembers meeting Liszt as a boy, and they wonder why he's now a woman. And Mozart's jealous that Liszt has somehow ended up with breasts and he didn't.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm behind on this show, but I got to catch up now. That's ridiculous.
We get 2 musics being activated. Both of them do. One involves like a giant cupboard going into space, and then Liszt's involves it's like a beanstalk, yes. And it also becomes very clear this episode that there's something up with that organ. So that's the key to something. And then at the end, there's three of the two idols and Barker there saying, "Oh, we've lost another two," and then they're like, "Should there be another one of us?" And then we cut away to Schubert wandering along the beach, going, "Beethoven senpai."
Just like stand users, they're all drawn to each other, unbeknownst to themselves.
Yeah, it seems to be that they are the composers, but they've somehow lost their memory and they're in these new bodies.
Yeah, reincarnated. In some
Yes, someone tweeted that, and the screenwriter of this week's episode retweeted it. So
They might have done it just to fuck with people.
possibly, but it was the tweets had been done in English, and it was like the only English tweets on the page.
Okay.
Were these retweets of somebody saying that about what their theory was of what was going on in Classicaloid. And of course, weirdly, well, not weirdly, it's blooming Anime News Network. Have you looked at the forum discussions for the reviews of this? It's just people arguing, is this or isn't it a reverse harem show?
Gotta put it in the box, man. Gotta put the label on it. It's gotta be in the right shelf in the library, otherwise fucking all hell will break loose, huh?
I think it'd be reverse harem if there was like a main character who all the fucking composers are going after.
Yes, there is.
No, but
Did
like,
you not watch this episode? There is.
Love Beethoven. Everyone loves Beethoven.
No,
but
everyone
surely
loves Kanai.
yeah, I think that's the thing. But like, Beethoven's a fucking lunatic who's obsessed with gyoza for reasons I don't get. Your man.
I told you in the first episode, man. It's a symphony of flavor. Like,
Yes.
come on.
Maybe that works better as a pun in Japanese. I'm not sure.
But the screenwriter of
Maybe.
this week's episode is the main thing they do is reverse harem manga. So
Yeah. No, this episode is kind of the most that so far. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
plus you can have a show with elements of reverse harem without having to run around with your hair on fire going reverse harem,
Yes, that's
harem,
true,
quick,
yes.
Sure,
put the stamp
sure,
on
sure.
it, put the stamp on it.
Oh, I
you
forgot to
know.
mention the power of List's music though, which turns everyone into shoujo characters.
that was pretty
That
great.
sounds all right. That sounds all right. Yeah. I think more shows need that. That'd be more funny.
Yeah.
And their faces change and their eyes get more sparkly.
Yes.
Like that one Monogatari opening where it keeps happening and everyone looks horrified whenever they turn back to normal. And they're like, "Whoa, what happened there? Did I go fucking weird?"
Yeah, it's more like the Urusai Sura story, Curse of the Girly-Eyed Measles, I believe. Which is where where the disease goes around, which makes everyone look like shoujo manga.
I like the way the what's the landlord's name again?
Can I?
Yeah, can I? She's like initially like kind of weirded out by List because List is way too into her, but then she's so happy that List will pay rent. She's not only pay rent, but she'll pay rent for her new pet.
Yes.
Oh dear.
But then at the end, after the music power has taken over her, she lets Chopin stay rent free.
Well, he's the pet. She just has to pay
Yes,
more rent
that's
for
true,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. He's in a box like a cat.
Yes, because he tries to give himself away at one point by putting himself in a cardboard box.
I get that, like, Chopin in reality, like, he didn't enjoy like playing in front of like large audiences,
Yes.
but I did this. I think again, that's a thing that they've just expanded upon and made it a crippling social anxiety.
Yeah, it's like he stayed indoors all the time, didn't he? It's like, yeah, because he was very sick. But obviously they gotta stick the tropes in there.
So was I'm trying to read options from Fran's list here. Though was he just like very, very friendly?
I believe yes. I believe so. I saw somebody commented on Twitter that apparently he was the most well-rounded of all the composers who are being have these characters based on them in the anime. So
Okay,
Yeah, he was
so
more of an
Any
actual.
reason why he's a woman?
Yeah, he was, in life, he was more of an actual functioning human than the rest.
yes, yeah,
He could pay rent, is what
Yeah.
they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he can pay rent and like go outside and stuff.
yeah. It was quite. The music scenes weren't quite as they're becoming a little bit more. This is what we can do on a TV budget, but I'm sure occasionally they'll burst out with something crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why they had two of them at the same time. It's because it's like, we just have to get through this scene. Okay, it's done. That kind of way.
Right, talking of things which feeling the pinch a bit. Yuri on Ice episode 4. Like yourself and complete the program. Definitely was beginning to look like an episode 4 of an anime, but there were still some really well animated scenes, particularly Yurio's. Yurio got the bulk of the excellent animation this episode.
As did his like teacher lady and her amazing like cheekbones. Like man, they put a lot of time into that. But yeah, like the last like third of the episode like looked ropey whenever it came to any of the ice skating sections, and they repeated it at least twice. And it's like, oh, you are padding this out, aren't you? Woof.
I'll let it off a bit because, like, again, we're just seeing him practice to see the full one. So maybe when we see that thing in a more finished animation, it'll look a lot nicer.
Oh, talking of finished animations, which look a lot nicer, you see those screenshots of the Berserk Blu-ray.
Oh Jesus, that was amazing! I've seen gifs of them running beside each other. It's like freaking. It's like a rough version, like a sketch, and then it's like, and here's the finished painting beside it.
Oh my!
And here's what we actually meant to do. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like especially in Yuri, like the delta between like when it's firing on all cylinders and what was at the end of this episode it wasn't so much this episode was absolute dire. It's just that the delta is so large that you go woof. Yeah, like what's going on here?
And it is Yuri's scenes because Yurio's stuff's at the end and that looks great.
He gets as you time and the effort and and he gets all the hair animation.
It might have looked as choppy if they weren't put in the same episode beside each other.
But the same thing, same time. The editing and the writing and the acting is all still top notch.
And you know what they can do at the top of their game, so you're willing to let it slide a little.
My favourite edit is when Yuri rushes into the bedroom and steps on the dog's tail.
I felt really bad for the dog. I felt really, really bad for that poor dog. It's a very innocent yelp, and it's like, Yuri, come on, don't be a prick.
That dog's one of my favorite background characters in most scenes.
Exactly.
It's great because he's also more sensible than his bloody master is half the time. So, but yeah, word is that the production schedule on this show is feeling the pinch, which is why the end of this episode was kind of rough. So fingers crossed they can pull out of any kind of nosedive before it happens.
But the episode is basically Yuri deciding on what music he's going to perform to, and Yurio getting a new trainer in the form of his current coach's ex-wife, who's a former ballerina, and she's going to train him to be a prima ballerina.
Yep.
And they're also all impressed that he's really into working all of a sudden. Because before he was just cocky, as like, I'm the best of my age group kind of thing. And it's like, now he feels like, I actually need to work for this.
But now he's getting basically whipped around. It's great. And also, I did like... sorry, carry on.
Sorry, you finish.
No, sorry. So I did like when the ballerina teacher lady came along and said, yes, I will train you. I will train the living shit out of you. Also, we'll live together. Also, I'm not getting back with you, coach. And he's like, what? No, I wasn't trying. And then it's like, that's kind of like the show's continual love of shooting people down continues. Also, we've met like the redhead lass, the other Russian like skater lady.
Yeah, and we also meet we meet some other people who were competing against Yuri previously as well.
Yeah,
Yuri has friends. Taiwan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, his friends from Taiwan. It's great because Yuri has friends now. It's great. It makes him seem a lot more interesting character. Now he has like a weird, possibly spurned love to see yet. And his like other friend in Bangkok, and it's like, this is rad. Like the character space in this show just got way more interesting.
Also, we see a little bit as well of like a possible arch rival character, at least on a Japanese circuit, because he's a guy who kept beating him in all our nationals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shonen anime hair guy.
Yes.
Up to this point, we've kind of seen like Yuri. It's kind of like when someone went somewhere to work or something like that, and they lost their job and they had to move back with their parents. Like that's the kind of situation he's been in. So we haven't got to see the people he's grown to know. We haven't seen the world he's been in up until this episode, where they're kind of starting to introduce that. It's like, oh yeah, he knows a load of people. He's been around the world. Like,
yeah. He like almost had a career and kind of blew the entire thing, and this is his last shot to get something worthwhile out of the whole thing. Yeah. They flat out say, look, figure skaters don't last long. They last until you're like 25, and then you shove it in the bloody like washing machine. And like they said, look, this is Yuri's last thing. Yurio's coming up. He's got to make something of all this, or he goes in the scrap bin. A lot more interesting and a lot less masturbatory almost. So
and also, Yurio is only going to be able to dance this particular way for maybe this year.
He says it himself, like his body is changing. This is the last chance he's going to get to be at his
for
prime.
all his life. So
So yeah, he'll have to start dancing differently, like Victor does once, obviously, his body fully grows because he's still growing.
Because also he doesn't know what's going to happen to it. Like if he's going to what kind of body shape it'll be after puberty.
He might be a blob like Yuri.
As it betrays you.
Yeah, like my own one. But yeah, I don't know. Yuri is charmingly homely. He's not a blob.
I know, but obviously that was his problem when he was not motivated. We also learned that he's got better stamina than Victor's got as well.
That's the one time that I've seen that Victor is definitely like a good coach, because even in this episode, he's like, just do whatever you want, man. It's like, well, my coach always picked out my routine and my music for me. It's like, do something you like. You know, it's nearly like either he's being good to Yuri or he's being a shitty coach, like being really lazy. You still can't tell. But in that, him noticing the stamina, that's a good coach.
He's like teasing Yuri out of his own shell. Like everyone else in the cast mentions it. Like, yeah, he's great. And then like, you know, but they call his old coach. The old coach is like, yeah, I tried to encourage him, but he was not very good at it, so I just did it all for him because I had things to do. So yeah, it was kind of good that way.
And my other favourite gag was his sister cheering on Yurio when she heard that they were going to be facing in Russia.
Well, that's what his sister does. She always torments you, doesn't she? Come on.
But yeah, we had an explanation of how the competition is going to work from the triplets.
In context thing of his parents have no idea what their kid does for a living, which is great. That's fucking perfect.
Yes,
I did love the triplets appearing and going, hey, we're going to explain it now. Sit down, audience.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from, say, those slightly dodgy bits on the dancing from Yuri towards the end. Yeah, it's still a very good episode. But the thing I've left for last was even better than Yuri on Ice this week, and that was Drifters, episode 3, Army of Owls, Sortie at Dawn, in which the action moved to a completely different location. And we found ourselves at, is it like the North Wall or something like that?
Oh, jeez, I can't think of the name of it, yeah.
They're basically on a big wall, which is going to be attacked by the villain of the piece, the Ends, the Black King, Joan of Arc, Anastasia Nikolavena, and Hijikata Toshizo, plus an army of various demi-humans.
The orc army and shit. I think they just call them goblins.
There's all sorts of different types, isn't there?
You got the pigmen.
There's the piggy orcs, and there's like those weird cat-eyed ninja people, and various other things going on there. Dragons. There's 2 other guys I don't think get named. There's like one hanging out with Joan of Arc and one hanging out with Anastasia, and they are Gilles.
Yeah, Gilles de Rais.
Gilles de Rais.
Joan of Arc, I think.
Yeah, he's with Joan of Arc. Right. If you want to be fairly disgusted, look him up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Grigory Rasputin, who is with Anastasia, of course.
Makes sense.
So yeah, both they're like mythological sort of women who've had like myths build up about them, but both had like really dodgy men who are associated with them, which kind of might explain why they're on the bad guy's side in this.
Both died very young.
Yes.
I kind of liked how, because Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, of course she would have fire powers.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing where they've been discarded by humanity. I mean, I feel like being an idiot and spending far too much time reading Type Moon and Fate Stay Night stuff has prepared me easily to watch this show now. Because it's like, oh man, these are just fake characters. This is easy.
Yeah. And Hijikata Toshizo was one of the Shinsengumi who died in 1869. And if you find a photo of him, he looks pretty much exactly like he looks in this anime.
Could he summon ghosts?
His Wikipedia picture looks exactly how he's dressed in the anime.
Okay, so they referenced at least that picture.
On the other side, there's some drifters at the wall. We've got Scipio and Hannibal are there as the odd couple who the Octoberist is trying to convince the guys at the wall to let them lead the fight against the Black King, but they'll have none of it, partly because Hannibal pisses himself.
Well, yeah, they're trying to convince him that these guys are awesome generals, dude. They're really good at tactics and shit. And Hannibal's just like, I'm fucking old.
But I did like
Scipio Agrippa, isn't it?
Africanus.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Yeah. He was the guy who basically battled Hannibal. So they're both like military geniuses.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like Scipio's like bigging him up, going like, "This
Yes.
is fucking. Don't you know who this is? This is Hannibal."
this is the
and
guy
it's like,
who fucked over Rome so many times.
I mean, like, I'm better than him, and the guy he's shouting at is like, "I don't understand a fucking word you're saying, dude. I speak foreignese."
So as it's not going on very well, basically they get put onto a cart with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, who are
We're
also
just hanging
there.
in the background, just giving out about cigarettes the entire episode.
Yes. It's Butch, isn't it? He wants cigarettes.
It's like, "I know you got 2 left, buddy." It's like, doesn't mind.
Obviously, because he's stuck in the Rings world without a fag.
They had cigarettes in Lord of the Rings. I think they had weed in Lord of the Rings.
The
Yeah, they're
Longbottom
pipe
leaf.
weed.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure they'll find a way of getting it at some point in this. And then, out of nowhere, as things are going badly, a Japanese flying ace appears, complete with aeroplane.
Complete with swearing.
Yes.
That guy was amazing. He was just so angry about everything around him. Didn't he, like, one of his lines, "Why are you riding on a dragon, you idiot?"
That's it, yes.
Or something like that. I was like, that's fucking wonderful.
He was just checking all this in his stride.
Yeah, he's Naoshi Kano, who, again, is a real person, died 1945, aged 23. Like, days before the end of World War II.
Oof, he must have... I'm pretty sore about that.
Well, in this, he's reminded of the firebombing of Japan by these dragons burning down this city, so that's why he decides to fight against the dragons.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of consternation among the Octoberists. Oh, new guys appeared. Is he on our side or on the other side? And then it's okay. He's a drifter. He's gunning down the dragons with his plane or whatever.
He just
his
doesn't
flying
like
machine.
dragons all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so obviously we learn from that not just people can come through, and then we also discover that obviously this cart was obviously part of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid's equipment because it's got a Gatling gun on it, which Hannibal is really impressed with.
It's like, this is fucking cool. I could take Rome with this motherfucking thing.
Got a lot of guys in this.
Can I put it on an elephant?
What do you call this wondrous machine?
The lads are worried about bullets in the meantime, though.
Yes, but the glee in Hannibal's eyes, because once I saw it, I knew Hannibal was going to be excited, but then I couldn't even imagine how well drawn his excitement would be.
I mean, like, you got to give this show one thing. It draws manic fucking gleams in eyes very well.
Yes. Yeah, because good guys, bad guys, they're all maniacs, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except the Octoberists, who seem to be like the sane people trying to organise some sort of resistance against the Black King.
They're trying to get the drifters or working for them, kind of thing.
Yeah. So they send them on the way to go and meet up with Toyohisa's group. And then we switch back right at the end to Toyohisa, where they've discovered Olminu, the Octoberist who was spying on them.
Oh, and they've discovered she speaks Japanese, so they've
Yes.
decided to give out to her.
Yes, finally someone could understand them.
We don't have to kill her.
Oh, dear.
I don't think they've said that the main Octoberist is Abe no Seimei yet, have they?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that is who he is.
Beyond. So when things really get going, it's going to be like even better than this was.
Yeah, because obviously we see in the opening credits there's a
Dress to...
towards what they historically looked at. The stream has just gone completely tits up. We're coming to the end of the episode, so it's probably a good time to end.